Welcome to What a Time to Be Alive, the only podcast counting down everything this week that made you say, what a time to be alive. And now, Patrick Monahan, Kath Barbadoro, and Eli Uden.
Folks, welcome to What a Time to Be Alive, the only podcast that counts down things each week to make you say the thing. That's all the podcast. I'm Patrick Monahan.
I'm Kath Barbadoro.
I'm Eli Uden. What's up?
Hello. Hi, everybody.
I'm feeling right now a teaser for our bonus. We're going to be exposing and going through our junk drawers but I did that. I moved my junk drawer into a more movable thing, and also sorted out some things that are for private eyes only. And now my hands have like the stain of time on them. You know what I mean? Like they literally just feel like I've been going through a crypt. They have like
the residue of junk.
Of years past. They got junk juice. I got fucking junk juice all over my hands, dude. It's
hate to have a juicy junk drawer. That's not what I want.
Sharing this guy's porno drawer.
Gotta move. It is all his pornos and guns. He had to move out of
hustlers.
that drawer.
I had to move my hustlers and doing my junk drawer reveal, and it's just the shotgun I have mounted over my bed, like junk drawer. No, I feel like it's a very specific substance, like. You know when you have to use an old charger and you dig it out and it's like it's as if the cable's been kind of like melting a little bit.
I know what you mean. It's like degraded plastic and dust.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Kind of
it's
mixed
not just
together
dust.
In like a film. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's microplastics. It's going into your skin when we're sacrificing ourselves to go through our junk drawers for you because we're getting contact microplastics introduced to our bloodstream.
Yeah. It's like if someone developed a form of napalm that was just meant to make you feel like a little gross, like because it just like it's impossible to get off. It sticks to you, and then you're just like, I don't think this is that bad, but I just don't like the fact that it's there.
Yeah.
Don't
like it.
That's true.
Don't like it. But tune in if you want to see what's in there. See what juiced me up for our main episode.
I feel okay. I was gonna ask like, how much? What are the lines for self-censoring the junk drawer? Like how much am I allowed to take out before it's not an authentic junk drawer?
I think, but the authenticity of the junk drawer is like, it's not in that it's private. It's in that it's like weird and stuff. To me, the essential junk drawer is just like, you're like, I at some point thought that I was going to need this again.
Sure. Yeah. I don't remember where this key is from.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, my ointment. My ointment's in here.
Whatever. Well, we're not doing the ointment drawer. And that's lucky. Because the
unja drawer, man, that'll get your fingers all kinds of messed up going into the ointment drawer.
All of my ointments stored under my floor like a John Wick's gun safe. Like turning, pulling out
the hammer.
I remember one time I'd had, years and years ago, in a much dirtier apartment, I had scabies. And you have to like cover yourself in a cream if you have scabies. I don't know if you guys know. Scabies knowers, shout out. And I'd done it, and then like, the
that's the scabies home.
Yeah, they blow it in the doctor's office when you go to let everyone know that you have it.
They can't not move around, so that's how they can tell they're there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'd say, don't get it. It's not cool. I wouldn't recommend scabies. But
it is like very communicable, right? Isn't it like if you like sit on the wrong subway seat, you might pick up a few.
It's like a sleeping thing. It's like it's
like bed bugs,
if
right?
you sleep somewhere that someone has scabies, you will get it. Like
You'll get it. Got it.
If you meet the requirements, you're probably going to get it, I think is the thing. But,
sure.
But it's not jump. It's like I had bed bugs once too, and it's like people think that if you walk near somebody or whatever, it's like, no, you have to like sleep in my bed. But but so anyways, I used it, and then I just, had like the tube was still in my medicine cabinet. And then I had like 5 friends from college come and stay at my apartment. And I walked in one day and they were all like, it was like an intervention. They're like sitting in a circle and they're like, do you have scabies right now? And I was
Are
like,
we
no.
staying at your apartment while you have an active scabies infestation?
Do you have something to tell us?
Yeah. I thought it might be, I didn't want to make it awkward by telling you guys that this apartment's infested with scabies, but.
Wow, man, we're good.
Scabies is really one of those names.
Probably fine.
That is, equally as gross as the thing it is. Scabies.
Yeah, it really does not pull any punches with that name. It's like scab plus rabies. No good. Two bad things.
Yeah.
Horrible thing. Horrible stuff. Designed.
I feel like, I don't know if it was just because like when I was younger, all my friends who were living in New York were also younger, or if it was a real thing. But I feel like I didn't live in New York in the years of people having successive outbreaks of those things. I feel like there were maybe 10 years ago, everybody I knew in New York had bed bugs and or scabies at some point. It was like but maybe my friends were all just gross because we were in our early 20s, you know?
There was a legitimate bed bug epidemic for a minute. There were like a bunch of movie theaters that had it. Outside of that, scabies, yeah, I feel like it's just because you probably know a couple people that live in like punk houses, and that's like,
right.
Ooh, scabies.
That's where they breed new forms of scabies in punk houses.
Yeah.
Scabies tying a little napkin around their neck, looking at a punk house, being like, "Ooh, baby, I'm gonna go get in between the fingers and on the genitals of all these people. Let's fucking go, dude."
Oh man, if you have a steady diet of dander, you are gonna love a punk house. Those people are full of dander.
Yeah.
It's a buffet.
all dander. Just
Yeah.
yeah, it's junk juice.
Legendary punk band, The Scabies.
Yeah.
Probably.
There should be if there isn't.
I believe it.
It's like they don't even for punk bands. They're like, well, we don't want to say people will think we have scabies or whatever. You know, they're like suicidal tendencies. Fine name. Scabies. It's gonna gross people out. It's gonna
it's bad luck. It's like the Scottish play. So.
Yeah.
Butthole surfers, fine. Scabies, absolutely not.
Little gross. Little close to home. You know,
Little
that's the
blue.
problem.
You know.
Yeah. So
Crass.
all that to say,
a little crass. Crass, also a punk band name, but you don't want to be crass. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Correct.
All that to say, as far as the junk drawer rules, I don't know. I mean, I just felt like there's no joy to be had for anyone in me, like holding a condom up to the camera and being like, yeah.
Well, this is what you people wanted, huh? Yeah. Fair enough.
Is this what you wanted? Do you like this little dance in front of you in the living room? I don't know.
This is where the magic happens. In the junk drawer.
Yep.
Step into my junk drawer. If I had really weird taste in condoms. Like I was like, I only use the Rough Rider ones from movie theater vending machines. If you remember those.
They're the most comfortable for me.
The ones that have a cowgirl on the label that you buy. You can either buy sour candy or condoms in the same machine in the bathroom of a movie theater circa about 2001. Maybe?
In the women's rooms, they also used to sell, the dentist has those little toothpaste caps, the little like toothpaste ring that they dip the toothbrush into.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They sold like those, but it was like lip gloss. That was like a big thing.
Ooh,
they would
smackers.
Not like a tube, just like a dentist toothpaste ring worth of lip gloss. It's very strange.
That's how important lip gloss was at that time. Like,
it was big.
It was like going out without mascara or something. You're like, I forgot lip gloss. He's going to think my lips are flat and have no sheen. This is never going to work.
If my lips aren't shiny, I need them to be like goopy almost. Because like,
if I don't taste like candy when I get kissed, then he's gonna. That's it. That'll be the last kiss.
Dr. Pepper lip smackers, or he's gonna be like, ugh, gross. I thought women tasted like Dr. Pepper. Nasty.
If only. God,
but they
Dr.
also
Pepper.
had not like innovated I feel like makeup sort of like substances have come a long way since then, and I feel like you can get lip gloss look without it being disgusting. But back then it was like, give me the goop. I gotta goop these things up.
They've made huge advancements in like goop, like because I would say hair product. Not that it matters to me anymore, but like people today are spoiled. People growing up have no idea how valuable a matte pomade or a clay, a styling clay. It was like back then, if you wanted your hair to not do just what it naturally does, you were like putting in like full, just basically modeling glue. You're just
cement,
like doing that. Yeah.
The two types of hair you could have were soft or hard. That was it.
Yeah. I like have a vivid sense memory of like what it feels like to press against a spiked piece of hair that's soaked in like got to be. That and sunscreen too. Sunscreen is like way better now. It used to just really be like, you know, you might as well be covering yourself in mud from the Dead Sea. Like, it was just like you had to like coat yourself, and it was awful.
Also, like I hope you enjoy being chalky. That's how you'll combat aging, is to just be covered in a like fine white sheen. Also, very good if you are of deeper skin tone. Really looked great. Really a positive look.
Really good stuff. Look, yeah, you were unearthed. Very, very good. Yeah. But yeah, you know, I will say, here's the, you know, if you want the dirty, if this is what you wanted from the junk drawer episode, the dirty, I will say, embarrassing personal story. The first time I would like, you know, had an inkling that things might go somewhere with a lady. They didn't, but still I had to be prepared. And back then, like, you couldn't, you know, there was no ordering online or anything. And I was too nervous or, you know, shy to like buy condoms at a store. Mm-hmm. I did buy them from a movie theater vending machine. So I was like, this I can do solo. Nobody looking.
It makes sense in the way that a movie is a common date, but especially a common date for people in the age range where you're embarrassed to buy condoms.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So, like, pretty smart placement for them.
Pretty genius, honestly.
Pretty genius.
Yeah. Outside of actually making money, because I don't think anyone ever bought them outside of me. But, yeah.
You're the only one.
You're the only one in history. No, that's what I mean. I feel like many people have been in your situation. I inherited what I believed to be a cursed box of condoms from my friend who I was staying at her house, and she and her husband had just gotten pregnant. And so she was like, here, do you want these? We never use them because now I'm pregnant. And I was like, I feel like if I use these, they're not going to work, because they were like, it just seems wrong. It seems
they have the plans. You know?
Yeah,
these
they just
know
have
where the egg is.
Like, I mean, they had never, it's not like they had used one and it didn't work, but I was still like, these were owned by someone who then immediately got pregnant. And that seems like a bad omen, you know?
Yeah. I was just going to say, I mean, if you consider expiration a curse, they're definitely cursed. But, you know, outside of
they
that,
weren't. I mean, she had just found out. So they were like, they were good to go. But
I was saying, I thought you still had them. And I was like, yeah, those are no good. Those are.
Oh yeah, no. I think I have. They might
like
be
a pork rind at this point.
Pork rind. They might be like buried in the back of a closet for like but they're probably expired at this point. They were never the first ones on call because they were owned by a pregnant person.
You're like, oh no, that's just the Best Buy date. That doesn't mean they don't work.
Yeah, it's like eggs. It's like
they
eggs.
lie to you. They pasteurize condoms, so there's no germs in them.
It's
know?
fine.
They're fine.
It's fine.
Totally
Give
fine.
it a go. Why not?
Uh-huh.
They just get a little less effective, like medicine.
Right.
Yeah.
There's something you don't want to be a little less effective.
You know.
Kind of an all or nothing situation with that.
Pretty much.
It's a numbers game, you know? It's fine. Do you remember... Oh, this is going to get so gross so fast. Perhaps we should just move on.
I mean, we opened with you having scabies, so we're already there.
That's a different... I remember in my sex ed, and this might just say something about my school or my area or whatever, like, I feel like there was a thing where they were like specifically telling us not to use just regular bags, to the point where I was like, is this something people are doing? Where they were
Wait, what?
Like they were like,
what do you mean?
Don't use plastic bags.
To fuck? What are you talking about?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I get what you're saying. For a second I thought you meant, isn't it weird that they were telling us not to do that? Because that is fine.
No. Yeah, Doritos. Savor the flavor. But I just was like,
are people like, doing what? That? Yeah.
Yeah, they were saying it. It wasn't like a joke. Like they were saying it like, hey, don't do this. So I was like, clearly, I mean, and to be fair, there were like 3 pregnant women in my high school. So maybe like we got to tell them about this fucking bag shit because it's not working. Yeah. Party high school.
Can't remember bags being specifically prohibited, but I mean, I could see it. I could see, I feel like there was a rumor in my middle school that people had done that, but I feel like that's just because middle school kids are mean and not because it was real, you know?
Yeah,
anyway.
I mean, it happened. It's weird. I'm just saying, you know, you ever see a pregnant woman drinking out of a water fountain between classes? It's very strange.
You
Public
keep using
school,
the word
baby.
woman, not the word I would use.
Oh, pregnant person.
Girl. That's a girl. That's
Yeah.
That's a child. Is
I wasn't fetishizing her.
I know.
Number 5.
I can't believe you thought I was getting mad at you for not saying pregnant person. Anyway.
Hey, if
Number
it
5.
made me more woke by accident, I'll take it. Sure. Corrective on 2
Number
levels.
5.
Yeah.
Number
good job.
5.
That dog ate the duck. It was not allowed. Okay, number 5 comes to us from Hamburger's Enemy, the Hamburger's Enemy in the Discord. The enemy of the hamburger. And this is it's about mushrooms, which I feel like we've talked about a lot recently.
Mm-hmm.
Every time there's a mushroom story, I vote for us to talk about it. That's why I'm spreading mushroom propaganda through this podcast.
Merlin Sheldrake, come on the pod.
Spreading mushroom propaganda. Your spores are soaring everywhere.
My propaganda
blowing on the
spores.
wind.
Your political campaign in the Mushroom Kingdom. Just spreading mushroom propaganda.
I mean, I want them to like me. They're going to take over eventually, so need them.
Peach wants to raise your taxes, but she lives in a castle. Yeah, right. Number 5 is it's about mushrooms. It's about giving mushrooms enhanced powers, I guess, is the way to think of it. I don't know. It's a little upsetting.
This is why I want to be on the record as being on their side. This is why.
Kind of neat.
Yeah.
Mushrooms, I guess they basically they have electrochemical sort of signatures like when we sleep. Their cells do the same thing as our brain cells, I guess. So it's like, what is going on?
They're dreaming
with them.
They're having a dream
And-
about missing classes in Mushroom High School, and no one will tell them
Yeah.
their class schedule.
Right. So basically, these scientists in Cornell and in Italy, they put king oyster mushroom culture cells in control of a couple of little kind of robot guys that can kind of, I don't know what to call it. There's one that has wheels and one that's like a little. It looks like a little the thing you use to like make your phone stand up so you can take video of yourself at a mic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
They
one of those
implanted
little kind of
mushroom into
Kobe
a
things.
gorilla pod or whatever.
It's
whatever they're
it's
called.
the thing that the baby head is on in Toy Story, right? That kind
yeah.
of vibe.
Something similar to
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Erector
But it kind of is
set-ish.
like, it's just kind of like haunching its way along. I don't know how else to describe it. But so they gave them the ability to make a machine move. And surprise, they did it. The mushrooms were able to kind of make these things wiggle around. I don't know, man. I guess they were able to, I guess, override the impulses of the mushroom, the fungi. But it does seem like, they definitely are trying to, I guess they're trying to send signals, and I guess we have to consider what that could mean for us.
I do not like. I'm with Kath here, pro mushroom. I don't even like their texture, so I don't eat them. So I'm already,
I don't eat them either, so they don't have to worry about me.
The thing
That's
about
right.
it, though, is that they want you to eat them, because then you spread the spores.
Not where I go.
Well,
We're not spreading any spores.
I think it's disrespectful to eat them, so I don't. That's
Yeah.
why I don't.
The cool thing about mushrooms, well, there are many, but I think the reason this works is because they've found that mushrooms transmit these signals that are similar to the signals in our brain, but they don't have a brain. Like, there is no central place from which these signals emanate. Like, every part of it is a brain, which is pretty fucking wild.
Yeah, well, they're complete. Like any connected fungus is one. If two of them
Right.
grow together, it becomes one being. I mean, worrying to give those
Freaky.
things the power to move. Yeah,
Very
But
freaky.
that's not like my level of understanding of like science and this stuff. Is it just like connecting a mushroom, like whatever the technology is fine. Like connecting a mushroom to legs, I hate that they did that and the legs moved. I feel like I just don't want to know that they can't, do anything like that. Like in my head, I want mushroom consciousness to just them being like Pokemon style, them just being like mushroom.
Little
like
guys.
that would be,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't want them thinking about them having this ability and also being sort of like infinitely expanding is the creepy part. If they were just like a little solitary dude that could have dreams, I'd be like, hell yeah, that's awesome. Have you ever seen those things? It's like there's a guy on TikTok who does it where he basically puts like sensors on mushrooms to basically read these same signals, but he turns it into music. So it's like it's sort of just like the sound of mushrooms communicating, and it's pretty cool. It's just a bunch of beeps and boops, but in like a pretty neat way. They're making beeps and boops down there in the ground.
Yeah, I feel like it's like when everybody's like, it's a fucking chimpanzee that can paint, and it's just like a chimpanzee like hitting, canvas with a brush or whatever.
I mean, the human is transforming it into music. The mushrooms are not singing little songs.
Yeah. No, it's definitely cool.
What if they were?
Yeah. What if they were? They might be.
Perhaps.
Give them a little mic. Get him going.
Get them in a band. Put one on drums. Give this guy with the octopus legs drums. Give the erector set mushroom drums. You're ready to go.
Yeah, instead of having the little creepy crawly legs, just make it connect to a drumstick. See what comes out.
Cool.
That's fun.
I think that's like when they do those things, because there's a couple things like that where someone's like, I've connected impulses to music, but I feel like they usually do it and they assign it to notes like in a scale, and then they're like, whoa, it's crazy. It sounds good. And it's like, you did that.
And all of these notes sound good together. That's like the point of a scale.
Yeah. And then like I feel like if they just took a mushroom and implanted it into like an electronic drum set, it would just be like cacophony, It would just be like blah, 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 blah. Like it wouldn't, and people are like, well, yeah, it seems to be fucking going crazy. Yeah.
It's going the hell off. Scientists have determined.
Like connected to like a little synth or something,
That's what the TikTok guy does. It's like a little synth that it's like pew, boop, pew, whip, whip.
Yeah,
pew.
but just like let them have as much autonomy as they can have.
It's like, yeah, put them.
I don't even like those wasps that they take over. Let them have those wasps. That's fine.
They can have the wasps.
Yeah, go off, cordyceps. Get in there. Also, there's one line in this article that I love because it's something that a supervillain would say, which is just the sentence, "Melding meat with machine is nothing new." Real Doc Ock shit.
Yeah.
Listen, Spider-Man, melding meat with machine is nothing new.
It's very like Krang getting inside that robot suit.
Yeah.
Everybody
if there
hit their
ever
Krang
was
counter.
Just meat and machine, it's Krang. Just a blob of meat. What have you?
I sent you guys a cool piece of art that I found looking at mushrooms.
This is pornography.
It's taking a very long time to load.
Yeah, me too. Did you send this a virus?
Image.
Is this Bonzi Buddy?
It's pornography.
Yeah.
Well, my computer can't view it then. I have safe search on. I have parental controls on my computer.
This is not a very involved website. This is a very old-fashioned looking website.
I also am unable to access it, so you've been compromised. Wow. I don't know what to tell you.
I've been compromised here also. I think I have the image. I can send you the image. Can you see the image? It's going through. There it is.
Oh, wow. Yep.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
Who wouldn't want that?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Patty has sent us a felted mushroom with a his face looks like those puppets from that like music video, like it was a Peter Gabriel video or a Phil Collins video from the 80s. It looks like that.
It looks kind of It doesn't look unlike a boglin, if anyone remembers those. Those little kind of nasty little hand puppet guys.
I'm gonna say it kind of looks if they put like if Albert Brooks or Mel Brooks was a Toad from Mario. That's kind of like the vibe I'm getting here.
It's a Brooks.
Kind of like
Don't know which one, but one of the
Brooks
for sure.
A Toad Brooks hybrid.
Here's a nice little sculpture you could get for your backyard if you were interested.
Oh, okay.
Just like a upsetting looking. Kind of
what did you search? Like human looking mushroom?
Toadstool head is what I searched because I was trying to figure out what kind of
That's a dangerous search.
What is that like classic mushroom? Like what? Like the red with the white, right?
Toadstool,
or like the white with the
right?
Like what is that what is that mushroom?
That's
Amanita.
The fly Amanita, yeah.
Yeah,
is the
fly
red and
agaric or whatever.
Yeah.
Those are the kind that are drugs, right? Can't you eat those kind?
Or poison, or both.
Or
one of
both.
those things where they're like...
Yeah, like alcohol,
Yeah.
They're drugs because your body's having a
Your
near-death
body
reaction.
is trying to expel it from you because it's toxic, and
Yeah.
it does pretty
It's the
cool
same thing,
things.
like, sniffing glue
I had
is
a
a
near-death
drug.
experience.
Well, yeah.
It's from the earth, man. It's fine that it's
just-
trying to kill me. It's
I
good.
love it. Searching Toadstool Head and just getting, original art of the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland getting blown. Like, well, this
There's
isn't
nothing inappropriate came up.
Wow.
So I'm not,
Cool.
I'll tell you.
riding with Safe Search on.
Yes, I'm writing with Safe Search.
Well,
on.
congrats.
Number 4.
Congrats to the mushrooms. Please spare us when you take over.
Don't give them anything with weapons. Thank you.
Yeah, we attach this mushroom to a gun. It now
Yeah.
can
It has a
pull the
gun
trigger.
We gave it the power of life and death.
And then they can't get into the
Excited
room
to
again.
see what happens.
It's like when they put a knife on a Roomba and then no one can turn it off.
So this story comes to us from Mathletic Department in the Discord. A real saga. Patty, you might be able to weigh in on this because there is a legal component. So Disneyland, that place that we're all obsessed with and dying to go several times a year. This is about the one in California, in Anaheim. They have an exclusive club there called Club 33.
Well, obviously, because Disney World is the one in Florida.
Of course, as we all know.
You fool.
I always associate like the Disney people with the Florida one, but I guess the Disneyland is like the classic. So that seems like the one you'd want to be more into, you know?
It's for people who like want to be Disney people, but kind of like keep it on the down low, I guess. Because you don't need to. If you live in California, you can probably go all the time without it making a big.
It's yeah.
Because the
Or
Florida
no
people are always
frills.
traveling. And I feel like that's also part of it where it's like, I don't mind that you go to Disney World or whatever all the time. But it's like, you're paying airfare like every time.
Well, the people in this story you may be shocked by, but I feel like the difference is like, and maybe Anaheim is like this, I haven't been, but Disney World in Florida is like, there's like the Disneyland region of Florida. It's like its own like county, basically. I feel like
Yeah,
it's
they
not
have,
as
like-
much of a thing in California.
Yeah.
Yeah, Disney World is well. They Florida just passed, I think, legislation. There was a whole big fight about this, but basically it was like the Reedy Creek Improvement District or something, and they basically had control over the whole thing, and like the state had no input on a bunch of stuff, and I guess because of the, I don't know, stupid culture war crap, DeSantis was like, it's time to bring Disney to heel.
Yeah.
And then there was a lawsuit that I'm not sure where it actually ended up.
Yeah, it was one of those weird things where it was DeSantis versus Disney, and then Disney won, and because it was about LGBT rights, people were like, "Yeah!" And I
Yay!
was like,
A
"It's
private
not
company,
good that a
a private
corporation
company now controls an entire county in Florida. Hooray!
It was like, "A corporation is able to stampede government."
So glad.
It's very none of my business.
Yeah.
I think is the whole sort of, as far as who's less bad in that situation. Although, look, I mean,
Well, I think
it's
Disney is less bad. It's just that the corporation
Yes.
part is alarming.
The precedent
Well, right.
is the issue, I
Yeah.
think. But
it's
anyway.
fine. It's fine.
In Disneyland, there's a very exclusive sort of like VIP bar restauranty thing called Club 33. And it's very exclusive, and even like Disney diehards there's like a waiting list to get in. There are like yearly dues that are really expensive. And this is why I want like these people. So the club's yearly dues were $31,500. That's per year you have to pay that. And then this couple that this story is about were from Arizona. So they would travel and get hotels to go to Club 33, and they would go all the time. Like they would bring guests. They would just party there all the time. They were at Disneyland so much that they said they went on the Haunted Mansion ride nearly 1,000 times. So this was like their spot. They
love that Hatbox Ghost.
yeah,
Can't get
they're
enough of
just wild for shitty holograms. That's what they love.
Hey, no. Now that I know they live in Arizona, though, I don't judge them as harshly. I'm like, yeah, you got to get out of there. It's pretty fucking hot.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Just trying to get into anywhere with air conditioning.
So
Why not just move to Anaheim?
that's the thing.
or
Well,
whatever, doesn't
so
matter.
apparently they said they were spending close to $125,000 annually on Disney stuff, like including travel and everything. So it's like, why not just move? Just move.
or like get like a condo or something. I don't.
Yeah.
Like, if it's there's got to be some way to lessen the blow of like hotel rooms, right?
Yeah.
I mean, at least. But anyway.
So they like finally got into the club after being on the waiting list for years in 2012, but then they only could enjoy it until 2017 when Disney revoked their membership to Club 33 after an allegation that the husband of this couple was drunk in public. So his wife said she's been a hardcore Disney aficionado since childhood. She said this was a, quote, stab in the heart. They've been coming to Disney, for years and years, and they're like, how dare you? They'd waited more than a decade to get membership to Club 33, and they've been kicked out for being drunk, which I guess is like very anti the Disney spirit, right? To be like, this isn't Margaritaville, we got to keep this chaste.
Yeah. Two things.
This ain't Margaritaville XXX, the worst porno of all time.
I guess that's just a porn where everyone's wearing Hawaiian shirts. Like, I don't know what the parody
It's just
would
regular
be.
Margaritaville.
It's just real sex again.
That's
We're
just,
back to
That
real
is-
sex.
you're
a
absolutely
bathroom
right.
camera.
They just this ain't Margaritaville is just a real sex filmed at that retirement community in Florida that's Jimmy Buffett themed. Good stuff.
Yeah, just Dreamsicle Drive. Just getting, yep.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I was saying two things. First of all, I think it's funny when Disney people are like, I've been a fan of Disney since childhood. And it's like, yeah, I would hope so. It would be worse if you
just
weren't.
that, it's just that the rest of us all kind of stopped doing that. That's the only difference.
It's like an adult Disney convert.
Yeah, I
like
mean,
an
like-
adult Catholic convert.
Yeah.
Like a real psycho who
I saw
wants to go back
Mulan
to
at
like before
35.
whatever Disney's Vatican II was. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
They should still be doing all the characters should still be speaking Latin and facing away from us.
doing the like gamer lean the first time you see Gaston at the age of 32 and being like, I like this stuff. Yeah.
What is a gamer lean?
It's like there's a meme about it or whatever
Okay.
where it's like something intense
Oh, in the
happens
chair.
and you just kind of like
And you go in
lean
on the
in.
chair.
Sitting-
Okay.
yeah.
Sitting up in the chair. Yeah.
Yeah. We've got the meme. Somebody can find it. Not me. I say that like we do have someone that can find it, but yeah, one of those. The other thing I'd say is like, I mean, I'm reading like how there's like he's intoxicated, he was slurring his words or something or whatever. It's like
There's a good.
I don't.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just like, is that not? I mean, it's not ideal, but like, do you
It's
serve
not like
alcohol?
he was like, yeah, it's the thing. Like they were at a bar and he was drunk. It's like, yeah, that's sounds like your bartender maybe overserved him.
Yeah, I would think they could flip
anything.
it around and be like, well,
Right.
we were overserved.
But this is
know?
funny to me because the way that they try to flip it around, because they are suing, they're seeking damages for this. And their lawyer is saying that he actually wasn't drunk. He had a vestibular migraine, which can cause similar symptoms. But this is the part that's funny to me. So apparently a vestibular migraine can be triggered by red wine. But then they say it could be triggered by red wine, which was among the drinks Anderson consumed that day. So it's like, well, I don't know how strong that argument is.
Yeah.
If it's not like he was mixing it up too. Like it wasn't just red wine. There was like other
If
booze
you're
in
having-
the mix.
If you're having more than one type of drink, it's hard to argue that it was like
Yeah.
responsible. Like, because it just, it's like, I always think about, it's like a really funny joke by Brad Austin, like old comic. He has a good newsletter called Overkill too. But how he got pulled over once and then told the cop was like, how much did you have to drink tonight? And he goes, I had one Irish car bomb. And then immediately was like, oh, I'm fucked. The cop was like, you had one. And it's like, Irish car bombs only drink one of those and go, well, back home. Took the
Time
edge
for
off.
bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only drink I had
Single.
was a car bomb.
Heading
Sober
down
to car bomb. Yep.
Yeah. One Jaeger on the rocks. That's it for me. That's all I need after a long day.
One drink that involves dropping a shot glass full of something into another glass.
If your drink involves pounding on the bar, you're in trouble driving away. That's no good.
Yes. So this lawsuit is, they're like willing to like spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to try to like get this thing, reversed, I guess. They want to be known as the people. They can't want to get reinstated at this point, right? They must just want the money, because like they're gonna go in there and be like, oh, there's like the guy who sued them, and like he's here because of a court injunction. He's allowed to come in here.
It is part of what they're asking. They do want to be reinstated, which I feel like this is confirming.
They have to pretend that. Like that's part of the whole, right? They have to say like, oh yeah, if they let us back in tomorrow, we'd be happy.
Right.
Like as a way
we're doing this because we love Disney. Like
right, looking reasonable and also like backing up your own.
But they're also asking
story.
for money. Like they're saying they want to be reinstated at Club 33. They want a reimbursement for 4 months of unused membership after they were banned. And they also want $231,000, roughly equal to 7 years dues in the club. That's what they're looking for.
Did they get banned and then still have to pay dues? Because that is fucked up. Like, or did they not cancel it?
I would imagine not. I would imagine they just booted them. I mean, there's a lot of questions here about, like, was this like a pretext to boot them out? You know what I mean?
Apparently
you
woman
weaved a little bit on your feet, so you're out.
Apparently the woman had been suspended the year before for profanity, which is again like, it's a bar. Adults are there. Like, what do you want? They said,
I don't know. If you're a freak, you got to know the rules. You gotta,
That's true.
It's the Disney.
This is
Disney
Isn't that
place.
what you're supposed to like about Disney? That like none of this stuff is allowed. That's like why people like it. So I guess you can't be doing that.
This is the path you've chosen. You got to drive this weird fucking road of whatever you're allowed to do there.
Your favorite thing is the thing for children. So like you're not allowed to do adult things there, like be kind of drunk or swear, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Profoundly less sympathy for this guy. The guy, this is the quote they really bury towards the end here. My wife and I are both dead set. This is an absolute wrong. We will fight this to the death. Scott, who owns a golf course in Gilbert, Arizona, told the Times.
Of course.
Okay, well,
of course they're rich as fuck.
They're spending $125,000 a year on Disney stuff. This is crazy.
Yeah, but there are people who spend like half of their income on Disney stuff. Like in that, like, but yes, this does not seem like the most. This does not seem like that. It would appear, unless running a golf course in Florida is somehow not profitable.
The last quote in here is from the woman who says, "quote I'll sell a kidney. I don't care." Which is awesome, but also it's like sounds like you're not going to need to sell a kidney if your husband owns a golf course. You're probably that's pretty far off.
It's not even worth that much.
You can sell one of your blood boys' kidneys.
How much is a kidney worth? Like maybe like $100,000?
Not even. I think it's like 20K. I'm gonna Google this.
Like donating it is one thing. Selling it is a different.
That's true.
Yeah.
Putting yourself in the bathtub with
black
ice.
market upcharge. So
right.
I know.
You got to keep it on ice.
Eggs,
shipping is very expensive on a black market kidney.
That's a big part of it.
Yeah, you got to give it to somebody in a 90s comedy.
Okay.
My shipping method. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was just going to give a fact. You're going to tell a joke, so go ahead.
I was like, for my kidney, my shipping method that I chose is Mr. Bean in the movie Rat Race is going to be bringing it to me.
It was the cheapest option. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
A kidney on the black market goes for between 50 and 120, which more than I thought, but not enough for this lawsuit. Not enough for
really
dues.
Specific range.
You really devalue a human organ. I'm learning Kath is pretty low on things you only have 2 of in your body.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing is I was going by selling egg prices, which is I think about 20 to do that. But you have so many of those, Yeah, well,
I mean,
not according to incels on the
plentiful.
internet. On incels on the internet will really let me know that I don't have that many, but
you have a limited number.
Yeah. I think they would be cheaper if your body was rejecting 2 kidneys every month too.
That's true.
It's not making more kidneys.
Yeah. They can tell by scent how many you have left. A lot of these
it's
guys.
true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they know. Anyway, good luck to Disney. Again, another situation where it's like, hate to be on Disney's side, but
I mean, there is a certain amount of like, we'll just pay these people to go away sort of aspect to this, but also because you can't let them back in. You can't have that.
Yeah.
This is your whole. I mean, if this is your whole personality, don't swear. I guess if you know that's against the rules. I don't know, whatever. So you're already on notice at that point, and then this guy's got the headache and he's wobbling around. Like, okay, you're out of here. Heave ho.
You have to be at a very high level.
Get him out of here.
to consider suing Disney a good idea. Like, it's like trying to fist fight a Panzer tank. It's like, you're not winning. What are you talking about?
And like going to the press, thinking that that's going to be the thing that, you know.
This is an injustice.
Because if you call a reporter, like, oh, hell yeah, I'll write an article about this. You know what I mean? Like, they're not looking out for you. Like,
right.
You know, so like that's like your decision that you think like, well, this will put public pressure on Disney. And it's like, as opposed to most people being like, well, these two assholes are losing their life. Like, it's not a very sympathetic to the average person, I would suspect.
Yeah.
So
that's the weirdest part, is that they say part of it is they filed suit to vindicate their reputation. Quote, he doesn't want to be known as a drunk. Well, this would have been something that no one knew about, except that you've now made it national news, because
the other 24 people that belong to Club 33 would be like, where did they go? It's like, well, he was drunk, so they kicked him out. But if they win a lawsuit, they will definitely have to not think that again. That's how that works.
Yep.
And it'll erase everyone's memory to this point.
Mm-hmm. Part of their conditions for settlement is make everyone be nice to us. That is a big part of it.
Hit everyone who was there or has heard about this with the Men in Black thing, and
just take them out. Order hits on all those people. Make a montage like in Goodfellas. Just erase get them all out of there. Yep.
Yeah. They just do it over the PA at Disney, like when they tell that to a jury. They're like, everyone please disregard thinking this guy is drunk. Okay.
The jury will disregard that devastating piece of evidence.
The jury will disregard
that devastating, unforgettable piece of evidence that utterly destroys one side of this case.
The
jury had a migraine caused from drinking copious amounts of alcohol. It's different. It's different.
The jury will disregard the devastating burn that the lawyer just laid on the plaintiff.
Undo. Control Z. Get it out of there.
This week we go through our junk drawers on the bonus episode of this podcast, available now.
You'll never guess who's got what. It's a litany of treasures. And there's a video of it on our Patreon as well, so you can really see inside our junk drawers. We're really letting you in this week.
Also, some news about everyone's favorite millennial comedian. Don't want to bury the lead too much there. So check it all out. Patreon.com/whatatimepod. Bonus episodes every week and the regular episode with no ads. Check it out.
Number three.
Number three.
Number three comes to us. This is from Iguana Helium Cube in the Discord. I also noticed this, and I enjoyed it very much to see, because it is a comeuppance for like internet, just like know-it-all bullshit people that I've been getting served a lot of like Reddit advice threads, and there's always somebody who's like just says some shit, and then someone replies and is like, upvoted for truthery, and then there's a third reply by someone who is an actual expert in that field, is like, what are you talking about? What are you guys doing? So this is similar to that. This is about Ludacris, who in other news throughout the first pitch at a baseball game with the big rollout music video arms, or move bitch.
Big thumbs up for that.
Yeah, great.
It was good.
So he was in Alaska, and he was on a glacier. There was a glacier melt, or he put a water bottle to a glacier melt and drank it. And because it's, very clean, very pristine, posted it on TikTok and Instagram. First mistake, posting something on TikTok and Instagram. Don't do that if you're famous. Bad
grave
move.
error.
You're already good, man. Everyone knows who Ludacris is. You don't need to have those accounts. So immediately people pop off in the comments, and they're saying, you're endangering your life. That's untreated water. It's contaminated. You're getting Giardia. You're getting Alaskan Giardia or whatever. Everybody's saying that shit.
This is the one thing we didn't want to happen.
You're getting Alaskan bullworm infestation.
He's getting some of those ancient diseases that have been frozen for millions of years.
Yeah. He's getting caveman's cough from the glacier water, woolly mammoth fever.
I'm getting a cold from the Thing, which is also frozen down there.
Yeah.
That is a side effect of getting the Thing. They don't talk about it because there are a lot more significant ones, but you do get sniffly as well.
Yeah, you feel kind of shitty.
You feel kind of shitty when you become the Thing.
Yeah. It's like chest bursters and Alien. They don't mention it, but you also get diarrhea. They're just that they don't show
bad
that.
And strep throat. It also is strep throat.
Yeah, it gives you strep throat.
That's what
Yeah,
it's doing
it's
when it mates with your face. Is it's putting streptococcal bacteria down there.
Yeah,
and
it's just very hard.
but-
It's very hard to identify the strep throat because your throat is ruined by it fucking it to
Right.
it fucking an alien into your stomach. So yeah, they're doing this, and then they asked a glaciologist, which I also did not know existed. That is, I understand their specialties, but man, that's special. Like,
I'm a big ice doctor. That's my job. Big ice.
Yeah, I'm the ice doctor. No,
Only the big ice, though.
Yeah. I'm the ice doctor. It sounds like somebody who would feature on a UGK song. Like,
Yeah.
Featuring the ice doctor.
Probably not the happiest field these days. Like, oh, another one's gone.
Yeah.
Or they're all, like,
Yeah. More bad
probably
news
bad for us.
from the glaciologist. But they asked this guy, Martin Truffer, the glaciologist, and he said he's totally fine. And as the person with actual knowledge of this says, it's sort of understandable that someone would be concerned about just drinking untreated water. But if you drink water from a melt stream on a glacier, that's about the cleanest water you'll ever get. So it's basically, I love this
It's just what we thought. It's just what we would assume.
Yeah, it's somebody just going in and be like, well, I don't know what the fucking people are talking about. Yeah, it's fine. It's glacier water. It comes in the expensive bottles that look like ice peaks. Like, what are you talking about? It's like we're Hoof GP fans here on the pod, right? I'm not the only one.
I don't know what that is.
Oh man,
I don't know if I know what that is.
it's a guy who trims cows and cows' hooves.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
Yes, I
Scottish
have
guy?
seen him. Yep.
Yeah, and it's like he's a literal animal doctor. I don't know if veterinarian is for farm animals or whatever, and he does this, and then all the comments are just people who probably live in like major cities being like, you're hurting them, and he's like, I'm really not. Like, you gotta trust me here. I've like gone to school for this. Like, it's not. I'm not hurting them. So yeah, I just love that these people are like, actually you can get Giardia because they heard that Giardia is in water, and they're like, that's all water, and this is actually. I just love this comeuppance to internet
In your
know-it-alls,
face, know-it-alls.
Yeah, which before anyone says, I understand that I have the same tendencies. Okay. I can see
my
internally
God.
as well, but
I do too, and I didn't realize how bad it was until I was on vacation with my family last month because we're all like that, and like it made me really grateful for my friends who like allow me to be like that because there were some standoffs about stuff. It was like this does not my brother's wife, who's like the only normal person, would just be like, guys, this doesn't matter. Like, the answer to this doesn't matter.
you're that
Very
family on the.
helpful.
What was that, Shelby?
Oh, give me a break.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to remember like what it was about, but it was all stupid stuff, of course.
You're that family on the tour of the Colosseum or whatever.
Oh,
And they're
yeah,
like, isn't it true that the gladiators wore interesting shoes? And they're like, I guess.
That is very, but it would be a thing where one of us would say that and the other would be like, actually, they didn't wear interesting shoes. And then it'd be like, I thought they wore interesting shoes. And then an awkward silence, and then everyone racing to Wikipedia. That's what it would be.
Running.
It's dark.
Yeah.
I thought they were interesting shoes. Not to me.
Yeah.
I don't find them interesting. They're pretty normal
maybe-
shoes, in my opinion.
Not for my intellect. Shoes like that don't actually make me curious at all because I know so
Right.
much other
Who
stuff.
cares?
I just already knew about them. They're very normal.
I see shoes like that every day. I don't care about that.
But yeah, so he drank that. It's a glacier. He says, this is a fun detail too. Truffer, who acknowledged he knew of Ludacris only because his neighbor named his cat after the rapper.
That's a great reason.
Ludacris. Or is the cat's
There's-
name Chris Bridges? That's the question.
Ooh, both good cat names. There's a cat on TikTok that's he's one of those hairless like Sphinx cats, and his name is Nudacris, which is very funny because he's nude.
The e-girl cat, the Twitch cat. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that's. I feel like they're weird. Those cats are I don't know if they're like the pit bulls of the cat world or whatever, but I don't know. I feel like I don't like them that much because they look weird and they feel weird. And then people are like, that's part of it. And I'm like, well, if that's part of it, I'm not a big fan of those cats. You know what I mean? I feel like that's fair.
That's allowed.
Yeah.
I think they're kind of neat, but they require a lot more maintenance than a regular cat, and that just seems like it's not worth it to have a weird cat that like
How?
because you have to like bathe them and stuff. You don't have to do that with regular cats. groom. Yeah.
What a raw deal. You get a
And you
hairless
have to,
cat,
like-
and they're like, you actually
They
have to
can't
do more
regulate their
stuff to
oils.
these.
They can't. Yeah, no, they can't regulate their oils, so you have to like moisturize them and stuff.
Okay, come on, dude.
I can't regulate my oils.
My oils.
That is a very gross pet quality. Not attractive.
Yeah,
She can't regulate her oils, so she's kind of greasy. No thanks.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where you're just like, oh, okay, like how with little dogs, like, well, you have to express their glands. It's like,
Also, sometimes their eyes just fall out of their head. It's fine. Whatever.
Yeah. I just have to give my French bulldog a tracheotomy like once or twice a week. It's fine. I just have to, it's like the Sphinx cat pictures are like, they're like the cat equivalent of like, that tweet where someone's like a picture of the most dead-eyed man you've ever seen in my life. It's like crazy, couldn't live without him. It's always that where it's like my one and only, and it's just like this creature.
This ball sack of an animal.
They're
Yeah.
nice. I don't have any problem
also
with
has
their
a
personality.
I think
Bag
they're
of
cool,
chips
but
on
I
its
don't.
head.
I don't have any desire to own one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so Ludacris is fine, I guess. So like the reason people think that is because of animal waste and stuff. But if you're on a glacier, unless you see animals around, there probably aren't animals around. So the water is fine. Is basically the justification for this.
Yeah, and I think if there's a pool of water on a glacier, it's one thing. This is like from a fresh melt, right? Like it's like right out of the damn block. So
Chip
I
off
don't
the
know.
old block of glacier.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's it also I'm confused by this guy. I find not knowing who Ludacris is. I'm not going to make the obvious joke somewhat ludicrous, but that's weird to me. I understand if you're like
You'd
I don't really
think-
listen to rap guy, but it's like Ludacris is in like movies. Like,
Yeah.
not everybody
Also-
played Def Jam Fight for New York, but still.
If you study ice, you should know about Ludacris.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's got so much of it.
He should have just popped up while you're trying to Google other stuff. Like,
That is true.
Yeah. You've
He's
seen
just
Migo.
around.
All right. I don't care if you don't listen to them. Like, they've popped up when you're looking at ice stuff on Google. Is it Migos? I don't know why I
It
get
is.
Migo.
You always make it a silent S. It's very interesting.
That's
Migo.
It seems
Migo.
foreign to me. Migo. My goss.
My goss.
It's like, I know Ludacris, but I only know him from the Gerard Butler movie Gamer. That's the only thing I know him from. Was he a music guy as well?
Oh yeah. Oh, he has music.
Yeah, and other stuff.
I know him as
other
Ice-T's
bigger movies.
troubled brother on Law and Order. Or like troubled nephew or something.
Yeah.
He was troubled and related to Ice-T. That's all I know. Ice-T was
yeah.
very concerned about his well-being.
Great poster, Ice-T. Come on the pod.
One of the best.
It's called Glacier Water. Kids are drinking it.
Yeah. Are your children drinking glacier water? Fresh, refreshing glacier water?
Careful,
yeah.
they're going to get powers.
I'm filming that somewhere around my apartment. I saw signs this coming week, so hopefully I'll be able to have an encounter.
I ask Ice-T to come on the pod.
with Finn Tutuola himself.
Craziest name.
We've seen him post
Odafin Tutuola.
He's been very close to the pod before. He was seeing the Wiggles with Coco and his children, very close to our old recording
Right.
studio.
Oh, that's true.
Right.
We walked
true.
by him. Hard to miss Coco. You think it's hard to miss Ice-T? Who boy is it hard to miss Coco?
I always wonder what those people who look like Coco look like in real life, because I don't think I've ever seen one, but I feel like it would really stop me in my tracks.
She's like 4'10", I
Yeah.
feel like,
She's-
so that's a big part of
and
it.
like
crazy.
as wide as she is tall in certain places.
Only in certain places,
Right.
correct.
Not the whole thing, but
Yeah.
in certain places.
Yeah.
I do, before we go, there's a really funny quote in here. Let me see if I can find it. He just says something like, he's like, this water tastes like God made it, probably because he did. And it's like, God made all the water. God made pond water too. Like, why? This isn't just God's special water.
God made diarrhea giving water. Dude.
Yeah. I don't know. I
We
thought that
don't
was
talk
funny.
about how we're a creationist podcast enough. That's a real.
It's true. It
tenet of
doesn't
our
come up.
beliefs.
I'm actually. I think the Earth is only 10,000 years old. I can't believe.
I think it's more. I think the water came from the that like big bald guy who drank the like little like weed grinder full of stuff and then immediately collapsed and fell into the water. From the beginning of Prometheus.
Yeah.
That's what
That's
I
where it came
think
from.
of. That was the start of everything here. That's where that water's from.
Should we
it began.
do number 2?
Number 2.
Number 2, I accidentally closed the tab because I was Googling stuff about Ludacris.
Shut
one
it
moment,
down.
please.
Kath needs more Ludacris tabs. Jettison the fucking extra weight. We need to speed up. And get away with the Ludacris tabs.
I can
Close the mushroom felt art. It's taking up too much CPU power.
It's taking up all my bandwidth, and it shut down all my tabs.
Is that an Audrey Montoya joint, Patty?
I don't know where it's from. I
That's
already closed it.
We'll shout out on Instagram. That's cool. She makes fuzzy, like gross pizza slices and stuff.
It's not one of those. No, I don't believe so. It's a little bit. It's more earnest than the more like a crunchier person. I think.
Oh, okay,
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I found the thing. Thank you for stalling. So this comes to us from my bussy, and me in the Discord. Thank you so much. If you would like to submit stories, you can join our Patreon at the $10 a month level. Get access to our private Discord channels where you can submit stories directly to us and give yourself a funny display name, and we will read it out loud. So there's this trend on TikTok. I have seen this where it's quote unquote passport makeup. And the idea is like if you want to take a flattering passport photo, this is kind of the stuff you need to be thinking about. And it's basically like it's very heavy makeup and very glamorous, but in a way that when you take like a flash high contrast picture, it looks kind of more natural. So you can kind of
like
sculpt
TV makeup.
Yeah, sort of like TV makeup. But like TV makeup crossbred with like Kardashian makeup because it is very like glam. It's like glam, but in like natural tones, so it doesn't quite look as like you don't look like a clown or something. But yeah, and people are getting like really flattering, good passport photos, following these sort of like makeup tutorials. But the problem is that most of the time when you go to an airport, that is not what you look like. You look like shit. Like at least I am never as ugly as I am when I'm in an airport. And it's causing all these problems because people don't look like their passport photos. And then they're like pulled out of line or they have to go like verify their identity. Like, cause a lot of this stuff now is automated too. So they like, you scan your passport and then they take a picture of your face with like an automated thing. And they're like, mismatch, like not this person. Yeah. Uggo detected. Like,
it's like interesting. A lot of those now use your nose, right? Isn't that like Face ID, I think uses your nose.
I feel like it uses several points, but you'd think they would try
You're thinking. I think of Fruit Loops. Follow your nose. I think that's what you're thinking of.
Fruit Loops.
But the way that they're doing this makeup, and like a lot of people do when they do this kind of makeup, they contour their nose. So in a picture, their nose would not look the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
they make themselves cell shaded, basically. You know. They look like they're in damn Jet Set Radio Future. It's not a reference for
the big thing with like passport stuff is like you're not supposed to smile. You're not supposed to. There's like all these like it's a very particular type of photo, and if you're trying to look like glamorous, I feel like there's very little ways to not be running afoul of whatever those rules might be.
Right, because so much of that makeup is about sort of like reshaping your face. So if it's trying to do facial recognition, it's not going to work. If you're just like, I don't know, like coming back from a vacation where you've slept like 3 hours a night and eaten a bunch of fucking salt and you like look completely different, you know? So, it's causing all these problems and people are like now making TikToks about it where they're just like, this is really humbling when this happens. And they're like, yeah, you don't look like this hot person to the point where like we need extra security to make sure this is actually you. And then another big problem people are having is like they'll get like Botox or fillers or something, and then it won't work because of that. Where like maybe to a human eye, they don't look totally unrecognizable or that different, but because all this stuff is automated and they're using these like sort of points of reference on your face, people are getting like, you know, subtle work, and then they're like, nope. The passport photo knows you got work done. Sorry.
I'm mewing in my passport photo. They're like, your jawline and cheekbones are not nearly as pronounced.
Burr, 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 burr,
Yeah.
That I feel like that's AI or whatever must be the reason that all those like this celebrity looks unrecognizable and they have like gray, like they have like longer hair and it's a little
they're
gray.
just like pumping gas in a very normal way, but it's like they're holding a gas canister. That's not like them.
Yeah.
pumping their gas. I thought that was some kind of derelict, but it's actually
Yeah.
TikTok star. Well, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
It's so funny of like Us Weekly and like, you know how in movies like it's like Jason Bourne or like superheroes always put on the unbranded black baseball cap at the airport or whatever. Just
That's the
Us Weekly
Leo
being like,
special.
yeah, Captain America unrecognizable at airport. Yeah,
And those hats cost like $1,000, right? I just
They gotta
assumed
be
it was
like Balenciaga or something.
yeah, they're like Loro Piana fucking made
Yeah.
from a sheep fetus in the hills of, you know, yeah. This is also like fun. I think part of this is, if I remember right too, like, so now if you get a passport now, you can bring your own passport photos. You can get them taken wherever. I feel like you used to have to get them taken there, like DMV
at the
style.
CV. Well, yeah, like the CVS or whatever would do it, but you had to go to specific places.
Yeah, you can't, because now I had to get them, and you can literally like airdrop it from your phone and print it out.
Oh, wow.
And I feel like that was like a good safety thing for this. Is like, you know, maybe that's why they make you take your photo at the DMV, is because they're like, you're never gonna look more annoyed, and it's perfect for getting pulled over because like you look really annoyed in this photo. You look like you're having a terrible time. Yeah, I mean. My thing
I've
with
definitely been at the DMV and seen people in this type of makeup before, and it's it's clearly because they want to not have an ugly driver's license, which I understand, because like you have to see it all the time, and like it's nice to not have the picture be unflattering, but it's like, who are you trying to impress? Like,
yeah.
do you want the customs agents and the bouncers to like think you're hot, and then they just look up and they already see what you actually look like? Like, if anyone's looking at your ID, you, the physical person, are standing right there. So like, why does it matter if you look good in the picture?
I'll tell you one thing you could do is be bald and have a beard, because I think I could use a fucking stock photo and get through any checkpoint in America. Yeah, no, it's funny. John Ozale, comic, if you've seen, he's got crazy driver's license photos, and he gets away with them because he goes all in. Like, he dresses fully like he's like a old school English punk guy. So he's got like Union Jack leather jacket, and then they'll take it because they'll be like, well, this is you.
I guess this is you. Yeah.
Yeah. He has some crazy looking ones, but the one I get all the time, like, I don't get any passport things. My photo for my license and passport is funny because I had such a long beard at that moment that the bottom of the photo crops. It just looks like I have beard forever, endless. It just
Wizard. Special passport class for a wizard.
Yeah, I'll show you guys not on a camera what my driver's license looks like. But
make it so everyone can see your number on
yeah,
the camera.
yeah. But
someone's looking at the picture and being like, that thing go all the way down? It's like, I don't
What?
really-
is the carpet attached to the drapes? But
My
yeah,
passport's really scary because they tell you not to smile, but it's really hard to stand there and not smile. So I'm kind of smirking in mine, and it like, it's absolutely, if I ever commit like a horrible crime, that's the picture they're using, and true crime
You're
people are
cooked.
gonna like analyze it because it's creepy looking. It's like
You
very.
got the Gone Girl picture.
Yeah.
It looks like
You're
that
done.
girl, that meme of the little girl in front of the house that's on fire. I'm making like that face.
I was saying, Cass doing DreamWorks face on her passport. Looks like Lightning McQueen.
I'll definitely show you guys. It is in
Cat's
one
got
of
the
my
one
junk
eyebrow
drawers.
up.
So
Yeah, I took that stuff out of my junk drawer. I think going through every page of my passport. Here's this. Yeah, the only
You
one
want to check out all his PII. That's the main thing in his.
I
junk
do
drawer,
have
yeah.
one quote unquote junk drawer that has all of my important stuff, which I feel like maybe I should disperse more. Because if
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
finds it, it's like they got all of it. It's all in one place.
That's what
Anyway.
we talked about before the tweet. Like Glennis LaRoe, I think, is like everyone has a drawer that has like an empty thumb drive and also their social security card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the only thing I get called out for on my passport photo ever, it happens a lot because I'm distracted or whatever, and I always feel like the biggest asshole, is I forget to take off my sunglasses and they have to ask me to do that. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And I was like, I don't want to be like, I just forgot I had them on. I'm sorry. I'm not like walking up here like I think I'm one of the Boondock Saints or whatever. Like, I just forgot they were on. Yeah.
Well, don't go in with heavy contour when you need to redo it because it's a problem.
They'll put you in jail.
I'll put you in jail. I guess so. I can't get into the Washington Post article about this because I don't pay for it, but I I'm reading all the articles about the Washington Post article. And according to this one that I'm reading, the State Department has said that this is like they have issued a proclamation about this, that it's like causing issues. So it's to that extent that this is like a problem for people. So, yeah.
Kath doesn't pay for the Washington Post. If democracy dies in darkness, you know whose fault it was.
Yep.
So
it's all me.
Thanks a lot, Kath.
Get her out! Get her out! And this week's number one reason to say what a time to be alive.
Okay, number one this week is fucking crazy. This comes to us from the Hamburger's Enemy in the Discord. I am going to do my best to explain this because it is confusing to me, but wild at the same time. And so this is like a cool story, one of those classic things where like scientists are like, the solution was right under our nose the whole time. We didn't realize we could use this like very normal thing for something that we need to do. But even with that, knowing that happens, scientists have found that there's a specific dye. It's funny to me that this is also the specific dye that everyone said shrank your balls when you were in middle school. Yellow number 5. Rubbing it into...
Ladies and gentlemen, this is yellow number 5.
The Weekend. That apparently, if you rub this dye into... They talk about specifically a mice's flesh. It changes the coloration of the flesh enough that it becomes somewhat transparent under a microscope. So they've been able to like rub Dorito dye onto, I mean, it's calling it Dorito dye. It's in fucking everything.
Right. I mean, but it is nice to imagine it's literally just a mouse having a roll in the bottom of a Dorito bag.
Oh yeah.
And just coating themselves in that dust.
Have that mice eat one Dorito covered.
Why are we saying mice refer to one mouse? What is going on?
That mice?
That mice. That mice.
Look at that mice.
I think I was saying it because Eli said mices, which for the sentence you were saying it in was correct, but then it got me thinking about.
Yeah. It's just one of those. It's one of those things like when I'm writing, I have to Google and be like, this just looks wrong when the letters are in front of me, you know? So yeah, they should at least make it. They should administer it in the form of the Dorito dust so that the mice get a little treat too. You know,
yeah, that's true.
They should be allowed. Also, side note on that, I would like that. You know how spell check gives you the red squiggly when something's wrong.
Sure.
I think there are certain words that should have like an affirmative squiggly because they know it looks weird. Because there's stuff that I'll Google because I'll be like, I don't know if that's right. So there should be like red squiggly, then nothing for like normal word is right, and then like a little thumbs up that's like, yeah, this is what it looks like. Like it does look crazy, but that's our language is fucked. That's
what are your words?
That is how you spell sarsaparilla.
Sarsaparilla is a good one. It's a lot of weird pluralizations, I think, and stuff like that.
Restaurant fucks me up all the time. Which is
restaurants
really embarrassing.
Restaurateur.
Yeah, I'm lucky that my Instagram handle
has it
self-fills before you have to get to the tricky part of restaurant. So they rub this in. It's like reading it kind of starts to make sense, but it's like still insane. It's like those Instagram reels of the color people who are really good at color theory, you know? And it's like, yeah, this is how that works. You learn it, you can do it, but still like human brain, you know, you see someone mix blue and green together and it turns like silver. You're like, what the fuck is happening here? And it's similar to that, which is that they rub the yellow number 5 into the mouse's belly. And as far as I can tell, I was because the picture's gross. And so I was trying to figure out if this is like a dissected mouse or if, you know, they're something they're injecting or like something like that. And it seems like, I mean, it's a very powerful microscope. But it truly is like just on the outside of the mouse, on the belly, and it's that this microscope that's designed to penetrate flesh, instead of being able to penetrate, you know, like a couple millimeters, it can actually like see a lot of the way through the mouse. So apparently rubbing the dye in, it basically cancels out, achieves transparency of reds. So it takes all the red out. And without the red, the light doesn't scatter the way that it usually does and allows the light to penetrate. Colors are fucking wild.
They really are.
It makes me want to take like a color theory class. But Yeah. So yeah, it's light gets scattered, and usually, they look all red, but then the yellow like counteracts the red, and suddenly the mice are transparent. And the Doritos thing is a little generous, saying it's a Dorito dye, but like I was like,
made us
surely
click on the article. So
yeah, but also I'm like, surely they're not actually transparent. They seem to be like maybe not fully to the naked eye, but like. Even in the naked eye, they're more transparent than they are otherwise, I think. Yeah.
So I wonder, like, because I'm just thinking, like, this sort of is when they do surgery on people, they like you get like coated in iodine, basically, which is like almost the same color. I wonder if that helps at all. I know that's not why they're doing it, but
that
like,
orange, yeah,
that orange stuff, yeah,
that
orange
orange stuff.
color, right?
Give me that orange stuff.
It's that
It's
orange
Tang.
stuff.
Yeah.
They're just rubbing Tang on you.
Yeah.
It's Metamucil. It's to help with your fiber while you're going through surgery.
Get some extra, throw some fiber in there while you're taking out my appendix. Toss some nutrients in there. I mean, they do like all this dye stuff. I mean, that's something they do in medicine where they inject you with dye, which doesn't kill you.
They do love to inject you with dye.
Yeah,
that's like the main thing they do at the doctor.
Yeah. They love to turn you into a damn diagram, looking like Mr. Body in this shit.
So many tests are just like, eat some dye, please.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like that.
Yum.
There's a lot of tests that I think there are better ways to do it. I don't like the elimination tests where they're like, oh, we're gonna figure out if you're allergic to fucking milk or whatever. Hey, just don't have milk for 4 months and come back. It's like, you don't have I'll give you my blood. Just tell me if I can have milk.
Can you just
or
like
not.
mix my blood with some milk and figure it out that way? Please?
Yeah, can't you? Yeah. That's what I figured you were going to do is put blood and milk in a beaker, and if it shoots out like Diet Coke and Mentos, I'm not allowed to have milk anymore.
If it does vinegar and baking soda, that means it's bad for me, right?
Yeah. If the test is, hey, try not having milk and see if you feel better, why the fuck am I here? Why are you here? I don't need your ass.
But you put your blood, in a petri dish, and they use a dropper to drop milk in it, and and then if the blood like reacts,
if
crazily,
it runs away, if it like gets away
then they
from the
know.
milk.
Yeah.
And during this, you're tied to a couch, basically.
Yep.
You put the blood in a petri dish, you drop some milk on it, then you look through the microscope and you see a tiny city with a wave of milk crashing over it.
No.
Civilization in ruins.
What
Yeah.
have we
The
done?
dark ages have begun for my blood. After the milk flood.
Dark ages of my blood. Yeah.
I play that video game, right?
Dark Ages of the Blood. I'd play it.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah. They do this. It doesn't seem to. It passes through their body with 24 hours. Doesn't seem to really bother them much, which I don't really trust when anybody says about any food dye. But they're like,
How do you
"Seems
know?
fine."
Is the mouse going to complain to you? Oh, my tummy hurts.
Yeah. And they're always dying. They're lab mice. I feel like it's weirder if a lab mouse doesn't die.
Yeah.
It's like what is it?
I wonder
what
if
is
they
their life
retire them
expectancy?
from service if they like live long enough. Like
Like,
you've
like
done
the
your
army
duty,
dogs?
sir. Yeah.
Yeah. They give them I think they just what's their natural lifespan? Probably not. Plus, usually the lab, if they're using it for lab stuff, it's like they engineer them to like already not have a kidney, right, or something. So
I think they do that sometimes. Also, like if they've been used for one thing, they sort of definitionally can't be used again for another thing. That would kind of throw all their research off. So
that's probably good for them, for the mouse. I mean, it's all bad for the mouse, but still, being like you only got
very few
one.
upsides for the mouse, but you do one and you're out.
Yeah. They're more honest.
And then you're honorably
Scientists are more
discharged.
honest. Yeah, scientists are more honest with mice about their lab service than the army is about their
Exactly.
service. No second tour for the mouse. The mouse is done. They're not coming to get them.
And it gets its college paid for because it's in a like Duke University lab or something. So it's going for free.
Yeah.
The mouse goes home at the end of its first, and it's like can't really get comfortable. Like it doesn't really settle in, even though it's got a mouse wife and mouse kids.
Can't adjust
and
to
then it
civilian life.
Secretly signs up to go back to the lab for another tour because that's where it kind of feels like it's actually got a purpose.
Yeah. It just gets really into realistic tactical shooters, realistic tactical lab games. Because it just can't replicate the feeling of having yellow number 5 rubbed into its stomach.
Well, good luck to these mice.
Yeah. What's in there?
Plugs.
I think we already know, but pretty cool.
What's in there?
in there? We scientists finally get to the bottom of what's in there.
What's in there? Turns out, a lot of mouse guts.
Yeah. It's like
Who knew?
Yeah, Schrodinger's box thing. Okay.
Gotta go.
Sorry.
Plugs.
Become a subscriber at patreon.com/whatatimepod for weekly bonus episodes and much more. And head to whatatimepod.com/links for our merch store, Discord, and more. Follow Patty, Kath, and Eli on Twitter and Instagram at PattyMo, at Kath Barbadoro, and at Eli Uden. And check out Kath's other podcasts, Lie, Cheat, and Steal, about liars, frauds, thieves, and bullshitters, wherever you get your podcasts. Here's where you can see us doing stand-up this week.
I don't have stand-up this week, but I would like to plug something I'm very excited about, which is that Master Pancake, which you may have heard me talk about before on the show. It's the Mystery Science Theater style movie mocking institution that I am a part of down in Austin. We are doing shows in New York City. I'm very excited about it. Monday night, September 23rd, we are doing Cruel Intentions at 9:30 p.m. at the Alamo Drafthouse, Brooklyn. And then the day after, Tuesday, September 24th at 6:30 p.m., we are doing a Choose Your Own with special guest Eli Uden. Eli's going to be on the show with us.
How'd you get him? He's so busy. He
He's
has simply so many things going on.
I had to pull some strings, but folks, we got him. And that one's really fun because the audience gets to bring movies with them, bring a Blu-ray, and then we let the audience vote on which movie they want to watch, and then we improv riff a show. And it's a great time. So I would really appreciate it and love it if y'all would come to one or both of those shows. They're going to be good.
Launching a secret underground movement, and we get to the show and you're like, wow, okay, we have 45 copies of Hellboy 2, The Golden Army. Someone is skewing these results.
You're just paying off all the audience members to bring it. So you're like, I know this one.
And then I won't let anyone talk while it's on. Like, shut up.
This part's cool.
This part's
This is
good.
the part where the gorilla, they're in the market, the gorilla fires his fist and it gets caught in the crushers. Shut up. And then they go in the
Shut up!
little
That
store.
guy's gonna.
Yeah.
That guy's gonna take the little piece out. But he wants what's his.
Yeah.
The weird little Irish gremlin guy.
They're going to go into the store that's the guy with the house for the head, and then he lets him in the back. That's where Prince Nuada is. Anyways, I also have a show I will plug now. The week after that, the week before that, the 17th of September, Tuesday, I will be on friend of the show, Courtney McGinnis, and very funny comic Tom Delgado show at Lucky Jack's in Lower East Side called Let's See What Else. That is at 7:30 p.m. September 17th, Tuesday.
Cool. Come to those, everyone. We'll see you next week.
I also wanted to just say I don't have a show, but I was on I forgot to plug this last week, a podcast called For the Water Cooler with Caroline Darney and Matt Scalisi. And we talked about bargain bin, like cheapo DVDs that we all bought over the years. And also, right before we recorded, and maybe we can talk about this on the bonus as well, I got some Dan Ninen updates that were very hard to focus on what was going on on the podcast. So
Teaser.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.